Folks, every day I become a little bit more convinced that we are either living in a simulation or a South Park episode.
It's an honor to have you back. A friend of mine, Kid Rock, sometimes referred to as Bob. I know him as Bob, but he's been a good friend for a long time, many years, and he's been after something that is for the good of a lot of people.
Because that, unfortunately, is a real image of Donald Trump hosting Kid Rock at the White House with a Gulf of America sign behind him. And not only is the reasoning for why Kid Rock was there insane and a BS lie, as we'll see, but on top of all of that, the absolutely humiliating event ended with an even more humiliating cognitive collapse from Trump, where he completely forgot to sign the executive order he was there to sign. And I have that humiliating clip and so much more coming up for you in this video. So drop a like and subscribe, and let's start with this absolutely North Korean style intro to the whole affair from Right Side Broadcast Network. Take a look.
We know the lawfare, we know the fake impeachments, we know the assassination attempts. This man and his family have endured so much, but truly they have the protection of God and angels surrounding them in this process. And he smiles every day, and we smile every day here at the network and really throughout the country, as one of our great correspondents who's on a regular basis, the Republican strategist, Katie Zachariah, says it is like Christmas every day with President Trump at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, because you know these complicated issues are being handled so well and so thoroughly.
Right. Christmas every day, surrounded by angels, handling complex issues responsibly. I guess that's what this is.
A friend of mine, Kid Rock, sometimes referred to as Bob. I know him as Bob, but he's been a good friend for a long time, many years, and he's been after something that is for the good of a lot of people, including in particular the public, and having to do with ticket sales and scalping and all of the gouging that you have been reading about. That's gotten worse and worse with time. And I didn't know too much about it, but I checked it out, and it is a big problem. And I thought, I think you've been trying to get this done for 20 years or something. He said Trump got it done in 2 weeks. But we came up with a very serious EO, and I'm going to sign it now, and maybe I'll ask you, Will, to explain a little bit about it, please.
Of course, sir. So this is an executive order, as you said, that deals with the ticket reselling business. For fans of live entertainment and for entertainers as well, the ticket reselling industry has become a huge issue. These people use bots and computer algorithms to buy up huge blocks of tickets and then jack up the price so that fans of live entertainers like Mr. Ritchie, I almost called him Mr. Rock, don't have access to concerts the way that they should.
Right, and we'll continue with the explanation of the EO that Trump knows so much about and got done in 2 weeks, but still needs someone to explain to him, and then him forgetting to sign it afterwards in a second. But just a little background information. If you've bought a ticket recently, you likely know how exorbitant these insane fees are, and of course, it is simply a byproduct of corporate greed. And despite Trump putting on a show of working for the people and inviting Kid Rock for some reason who's dressed in that ridiculous outfit, the order mostly directs federal agencies to enforce existing laws, marking a rare instance of policy crossover with the administration of Democratic President Joe Biden, who used the FTC to target junk fees or levies tacked on at the end of the purchase process that can mask the full price of things like concert tickets, hotel rooms, and utility bills. So Trump will take credit for the good things that Joe Biden does when he expands on them, but won't take credit for tanking the stock market or hindering the economy with tariffs after President Joe Biden left him with a sturdy and strong economy. There's also reports that Kid Rock was really there because he wanted to meet Bill Maher and had Donald Trump invite him to dinner as a favor for Kid Rock. But here's at least what they outwardly expressed they were here for to the public.
Bob, you want to say something?
Yeah, anybody it doesn't matter your politics. First off, thank you, Mr. President, because this has happened at lightning speed. I know you put, I want to make sure Alina Habba gets her credit too, because I know she worked very hard on this, but thank you for making this happen so quick. Anyone who's bought a concert ticket in the last decade, maybe 20 years, no matter what your politics are, knows that it's a conundrum. You buy a ticket for $100, by the time you check out, it's $170. You don't know what you can charge for it, but more importantly, these bots. You know, they come in to get all the good tickets to your favorite shows you want to go to, and then they're relisted immediately for sometimes a 400 or 500% markup. And the artists don't see any of that money. And, ultimately, I think this is a great first step. I would love down the road if there would be some legislation that we could actually put a cap on the resale of tickets. And I'm a capitalist and a deregulation guy, but they've tried this in some places in Europe, and it seems to be the only thing that's us as artists be able to get the tickets into the hands of the fans at the prices we set. I'll be the first one to say, and I know the president doesn't like when I say this, but I'm a little overpaid right now. It's kind of ridiculous. I would rather be a hero to working class people and have them be able to come attend my shows and give them a fair ticket price. I can't control that right now, so hopefully this is a step to really be able to make that happen.
And look, I mean, he's right. Ticket prices are exorbitant and should be able to get them cheaper without bots interfering and with more transparency, but it's kind of hard to buy the whole I'm overpaid, I'm doing this for my fans and the working class, especially when you consider this.
Kid Rock has built himself a massive property on a hill outside Nashville, and it's modeled on the most famous house in the USA, the White House. Inside there, he's got a golden toilet and the bathroom is fitted with, you guessed it, a gold shower.
Yeah, and on top of that, despite this lady's demeanor in calling Kid Rock America's badass and a hero of the working class, she also described his childhood home that looked like this.
Kid Rock's childhood home was a nearly 6,000 square foot luxury house in Michigan, sitting on 5.5 acres. It included 5 beds, 7 baths, a 5-car garage, along with a partially finished walkout and guest house. There's also a 3-stall horse barn, regulation tennis court, and in-ground pool.
Yeah, so while stopping ticket scalpers sounds great, it does ring kinda hollow coming from Donald Trump and Kid Rock after you learn that background information. And if MAGA wants to stick with the argument that they do care about the American people, then that forces their hand to admit that this next clip wasn't just him slipping up or not caring about the American people, though both can be true, but rather his cognitive collapse getting even worse as he forgets to sign the order that was the whole point of this shit show. Take a look.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you, press. Thank you, press. Headed out that door right there. Thanks, guys. Thanks, guys. Thanks, guys.
Wait. Well, that was good. Okay, ready, everybody? You better do well with this. He's going to do it. Make sure everything is nice and clean, right, for your
Make America fun again.
Because you're not in a clean industry. Hold that up, okay? Thank you, everybody.
Yeah, he's literally trying to shuffle everyone out the door before even getting the photo up. And then he hands it over and says, you're about to do really good with this. This is literal quid pro quo. So what are your guys' thoughts on this? Please let me know in the comments. Personally, obviously, I'm not a big fan of Kid Rock. I think his music is kind of trash, and I very much disagree with his politics. At the same time, I can understand that this is a genuinely good move, hopefully, but it also kind of feels lackluster because it's just directing the FTC to enforce things that were already in place, that companies have already found ways around. So what does this actually accomplish? And then I guess the other question is, do you think that this is actually genuine from either of these guys in order to help the American people? I think you know where I stand, but again, I'd love to hear your comments down below. That's it for me. If you enjoyed the video, please consider dropping a like, subscribe, and helping us get to 500,000 subscribers. We are so close, and we can't do this without you. For Really American, I'm Kenny Hesse, and I'll see you guys in the next one.